What's up, y'all? It's your boy C coming back at you with another episode of C's Retro and Garage. Here as usual in outer space from the free state of Florida, coming to bring you a little bit of a important but yet never spoken about topic: how to preserve your turbo on any Buick Encore, Chevy Cruze, Chevy Trax, Buick Verano, Chevy Sonic. Same 1.4 liter Ecotec engine. There's a little trick to it, and it's a very easy and cheap trick that should preserve the turbo on your car for a very long time. And I'm going to show you what it is. Now, when you look at the Ecotec engine, and excuse me for having spilt some shit over this one, the turbo, for those of you who do not know, is right down there behind the heat shield. The heat shield is to protect all the other devices from extreme heat. Behind that heat shield is where we're going to go. Now, there is a little oil return pipe. You can kind of see it right, I'm going to point to it right there. That, and I am not sure about 2018s or 19s and up, but I believe 17s are like this. That pipe is there, and it goes actually there between the exhaust manifold and the turbo out to here. About the stupidest place you could have put it, because that thing is baking and baking and baking and baking and baking over tens of thousands of miles. What ends up happening is it bakes to the point where it starts to become clogged. It gets clogged, your turbo can no longer receive oil, and then it seizes up, and bye-bye turbo. And albeit this is not a difficult turbo to swap out, it's still a pain in the ass. Any type of work like this is a pain in the ass. And you're still talking about at least paying about $400. So I think last time I checked it was actually a lot cheaper. It was down to $289 for an aftermarket turbo, exactly as you see it, this setup here, for the 1.4 liter engine on Amazon. An OEM one is going to cost you a hell of a lot more. And you know, that's part one of that. Part two of that is actually, well, how to keep oil from constantly going right back into the turbo. This is the actual PCV valve, not the thing that likes to hide under here. That's just an exhaust vent, or a whatever the fuck it's called. But anyway, this is actually where your oil spits out to get recirculated. And as you can see, it goes right into the turbo. So there's one very inexpensive and not difficult way of redoing this, and that is installing an oil catch can. Now, thankfully, you got plenty of space back here to install one. You can actually tack it onto the air box right there. You can go right there on the strut mount. You can attach it there. If you getting really creative, you could probably stick it over here. You're just going to need to run some longer hose. But that will be part two of this video. We're going to just stick with part one for now, which is going to be how to replace that little hose. Now, the first thing you're going to need is a set of star wrenches, star sockets. So you can see there, these are the E size. I believe it's an E10. Let me try it. Or you can pick these up pretty cheaply on Amazon for about $10. This is an E10. Right there. Perfect. There should be 4 of those. Nope, there's my ashes. There should be 4 of those. 1, 2. I don't see the third one, but I'm sure it's there. I just can't see it. It's probably there. 3 and 4 is down there. Right there. Once the heat shield comes off, then it'll expose the turbo and manifold. So let me go ahead and pop that sucker off, and we'll have a look at it. Alright, so now you can get a better look at the hose. Okay, this is the stock one. This one happens to use a T size to remove it. I just had it right here. It's going to be a T40. T40, or actually a T35, it looks like. No, T40. You're gonna need 2 T size. You can pick these up at Harbor Freight. I forgot how much. Okay. Fucking phone. Anyway. So when you look, you see the T. It fits right there. Okay. And I was right, there is 4 of these E10 bolts, but for the heat shield there's only 3. Let me show you. There's the 1, 2, and there's 3. The 4th one is actually right down there, and it's actually what holds the return pipe in place. Now this one that I picked up here, this is a Dorman. Here's the part number here. 625-829er. Okay. The Dormans are very highly recommended, as well as are fully complete. So the next step is going to be to get that sucker off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So again, it's still the same E10 down below for that one. It's right there. Okay, right there. And that one uses a T40 to remove. Okay, so either my T40 is a little too large or a little too bent. There's a little solution. The same set of T-wrenches that you're going to use, the hex bits that you will use to put on the new bolt, which the new bolt uses a 3/8. You can use the 7/32 to remove the factory bolt, banjo bolt. Here's the side-by-side comparison. That's the original banjo bolt, and this is the new one. As you remember, you can see here, this one's of course is oily, but you could see that this one used the star fitting, and this one uses a hex fitting. Ironically, if you look deep in there, you could see the star. Maybe you could use a star one, I don't know, but as you can see, this is what the new one looks like. So it's just a matter of putting it right back in. Alright, as you can see, the new part is in. Now, chances are you will have to bend this slightly to get it in there. That is perfectly fine, according to Dorman. If you haven't already, get yourself a set of these hand or finger socket wrenches, because that's about all you're going to need in order to really tighten this. If you want to hit it with the regular socket, these are actually torqued to I believe it's 100 pounds, 100-ish inch pounds, which is equal to about 8 or 9 foot-pounds. Slight correction. The one that holds the other end is actually a 12. These are 10s. This is actually a 12. Okay, so a slight correction. So you need an E12 for that one, included in the socket set. So it's not a big deal. So as you can see, that one is in. Of course, clean your area off before putting these guys back on. Very important you don't lose the gaskets on these little boogers. Okay. Go ahead and just finish tightening up and put the heat shield back on. Alright, now that the car is started, inspect it for leaks using the light. It's a good idea actually to do this with the heat shield off, to be honest with you. Because the only thing I can really look at right now is the inside part over there, the one without the banjo bolt. But right now what we're looking at is smoke. We're looking for smoke, little puffs of smoke. And after a little bit of careful observance, I don't see anything. Looking here, I'm not seeing any smoke there. It's very important that you keep on tabs keep tabs on this, because this is what will really screw up your engine. So let's give it a few revs to kind of get that turbo spooling a little bit, and now we'll get a good look at it. Okay. So now we got to take a better look at it there. I'm not seeing anything burning. Not really seeing any smoke coming off of here. It's important over the next few days to actually monitor this to make sure there's no leaks. I did torque these to spec. I put about 10 foot-pounds of torque on all the bolts. And actually the ones on the heat shield are supposed to be torqued to yield, meaning they're a one-time use only, but yeah, whatever. It's a fucking heat shield, right? What's the worst that could happen? It falls off. I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess it could fall and break your cooling fan if it did happen. But I would think before it totally would fall off, you'd probably start hearing like a strange rattle and stuff like that. So you know to just give it a tighten. But yeah, right now this looks good. It'll be good again to just revisit this in a few days, check on it then, because the only thing worse than a blown turbo is a blown engine. And this is where the video will end for this part. I did say it was a two-part video. The second part will be coming eventually, hopefully soon, at the next oil change, most likely. This is, after all, a lost video, and I am bringing it to you so that you know, I could try to help someone out who's wondering how to preserve the life of their turbo and their engine. Make it part of your routine maintenance. So again, I thank you for stopping in, reminding you that if you are in need of a certified Christian counselor to speak with, or if you are in need of a ordained Christian minister for weddings and baptisms, and you are in Florida's Treasure Coast or the Palm Beaches, just hit me up on this channel and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. But once again, this is Reverend C, asking you to please click like, subscribe, comment below, keep it civil, reminding everybody to stay safe, be ye kind one to another. Peace out. I'll catch you on the next one, and thanks for stopping into Reverend C's Kitchen.